now, TerrainForge3D, where you define a bounded box. You could fetch OpenStreetMap data from it, buildings, roads, waters, streams, rivers, bays, etc., railways, and like parkland. And you could define some info around it, like how do you want it to generate roofs, and have like 6 or so different roofs, levels of detail. If you want to cluster different buildings together, what's the minimum build-in? If there's bridges, how do you want to develop that bridge? Like what's the height of the bridge above the water? How thick should the bridge be? How big should the supports be? And these are all in like millimeter sizes. With the goal being for 3D printing, you need to have like a good reference point for what this would be in millimeters. So if you made a really small model size, right, the bridges would be correspondingly bigger. I have a preview here of a really small area, so you can see the buildings are fairly big. What I'm doing now is I'm generating a preview of a much larger area of New York. So this is going to take a little while. One of the things I'm working on and why I want people to test is how I could speed up the preview and the STL generation, and then more importantly, or just as importantly, are the prints, the STLs that are coming out of this actually useful and something people would want to print. So this is a really dense area of New York City. It looks amazing. I'm not actually sure that would print great because the buildings would be so small. So you could filter out these really small buildings so only bigger ones print. But if I was to open up this main model, you can see that that's not the one. Open up the wrong one. That's what happens when I do a demo and I don't do a right demo. Render final model, and then I'd open it up. It would be this full cityscape, right? And the way I set it up is the water height, the road height, the park side, and the building heights all have different heights. So instead of doing massive swapping between colors like on an AMS system, it could do a clean line of blue everywhere, like even in the frame, because all parks and roads and buildings are above it. That makes it a lot more filament aware to print. So that took a bunch to figure out, but that's in there as well. But I need some more people using it because I think my brain is a little bit fried on it. So hopefully this is something you guys can use and you don't mind those longer render times. You saw that New York City took that minute or so. So if I open it up, open up Memo Studio again, you'll see there it is. You can see if I did colors on it, you'd be able to, I could do a color by line, and you could do entire, all that is blue, right? And then move up in a different height range, and then do a different one for roads. Like this is actually a different height than the water. I just had the range too high. So I can mess around with that and do a lot of cool stuff. Let me know if you'd like to be in on it, and I will get you a test link. Thank you.